Admiral Kang Dae-ho stood on the bridge of the Earthship Harmony, watching the massive alien space station grow larger on the screen. After 200 years of dreaming about meeting other intelligent life, humanity was finally here at Proxima Station. His heart beat faster as he thought about this historic moment. "Sir, they're responding to our communication request," said Captain Lee Hyun-woo from his position at the communication desk. Kang Dae-ho straightened his uniform. Behind him stood Dr. Park So-jin, Earth's best expert on alien life, and Kim Yoo-jin, their intelligence officer. They had traveled 4 years to reach this place where 12 different alien species met to discuss galaxy business. The main screen flickered and showed 3 alien faces. The largest was a reptile-like creature with golden scales and cold yellow eyes. Next to it sat what looked like a living crystal that glowed with blue light. The third looked like a massive warrior covered in bone armor. "I am High Executor Vorthak of the Draconian Hegemony," the reptile spoke in perfect English. "You are the mammals from the small blue world, correct?" "Yes, Honored Executor. I am Admiral Kang Dae-ho, representing Earth and humanity. We come seeking peaceful contact and trade with your great civilizations." The crystal being made a sound like breaking glass that Dr. Park So-jin quickly realized was laughter. "Prime Collective Zenth 9 finds humor in this primitive request," it said. "Small mammals believe they can trade with advanced species." War Chief Grimaxus, the armored warrior, barely looked at the humans. "Another weak species appears. How many more will crawl from small worlds thinking they matter?" Kang Dae-ho felt his face grow hot with anger, but he kept his voice calm. "We may be new to space travel, but we have much to offer. Our scientists have made many discoveries, and our engineers have built ships that brought us here." "Yes, yes." Vorthak waved a clawed hand like he was brushing away a fly. "Primitive chemical rockets and basic computers. Very impressive for mammals, I suppose." Dr. Park So-jin stepped forward. "Perhaps we could start with scientific exchange. We have studied life on many worlds in our system. The mammal speaks of studying bacteria and simple plants," Zenth 9 said to the others, ignoring Dr. Park completely. "How amusing. My collective has studied the evolution of entire galaxies." The 3 aliens began talking among themselves as if the humans were not there. Kang Dae-ho listened carefully as Kim Yoo-jin recorded everything. "The new mammals seem healthy enough," Grimaxus said. "Their world could provide good slaves for the mining operations." "No, their technology is too primitive for useful work," Vorthak replied. "Better to just take their raw materials and leave them alone. They will probably kill themselves within 50 years anyway." "Agreed," said Zenth 9. "All primitive species follow the same pattern. They discover spaceflight, meet us, then collapse from the shock of learning they are not special." Dr. Park So-jin's hand tightened into a fist, but she stayed quiet. Vorthak turned back to the humans. "The Galactic Hegemony has decided your fate, mammals. You will be classified as a Class 7 restricted species. You may keep your little world and the few dead rocks you have settled, but you cannot expand beyond 20 light years from your home star." "What does that mean exactly?" Kang Dae-ho asked. "It means you stay in your small corner of space where you belong," Grimaxus growled. "If we find your ships beyond the boundary, we will destroy them." "You will also provide tribute," Vorthak continued. "Each year, you will send ships filled with metals and rare elements to our collection stations. Consider it payment for allowing you to exist." Kim Yoo-jin spoke for the first time. "And what do we receive in return?" The 3 aliens looked surprised that a human would ask such a question. "You receive the gift of not being destroyed," Zenth 9 said. "Many species would consider this generous." "We will place monitoring stations in your territory," Vorthak added. "These will watch to make sure you follow our rules. Do not worry. We will not waste important personnel on watching mammals. Only basic observers will be needed." The meeting continued for 2 more hours. The aliens explained their rules in great detail, making it clear that humans were nothing special. Earth would be just another primitive world under their control, like hundreds of others. When the communication finally ended, the bridge of the Harmony was completely silent. The crew looked defeated and angry. 30 billion humans, Captain Lee said quietly, and they treat us like pets." "Worse than pets," Dr. Park So-jin said. "At least people care about their pets." But Kang Dae-ho was thinking. He had noticed something during the meeting. The alien sensors and communication systems were incredibly advanced, but they were designed to detect the kind of technology the aliens used. Human ships with their simple chemical engines and basic computers barely showed up on their screens. "Kim Yoo-jin," he said. "How much did you record?" "Everything, sir. Every word. Every detail about their technology and attitudes." "Good. Dr. Park, what did you learn about their psychology?" She thought for a moment. "They are incredibly arrogant. They believe their own superiority so completely that they don't really see us as a threat. We're just another primitive species to them." "Exactly," Kang Dae-ho said. "And that might be the biggest mistake they ever made." Captain Lee looked confused. "Sir?" "They think we're stupid animals who will either die off or stay quietly in our corner. They're not going to watch us very carefully because they believe we can't possibly surprise them." Kim Yoo-jin began to smile. "You're thinking of using their arrogance against them." "I'm thinking of a lot of things," the Admiral said. "But first we go home and have a very private conversation with Earth's best minds. If the galaxy wants to forget about humanity, then maybe it's time we learned how to move in the shadows." Dr. Park So-jin looked out at the alien station. "They called us primitive mammals." "Yes, they did," Kang Dae-ho replied. "And while they're busy looking down on us, we'll be learning everything we can about them. One day, those primitive mammals might teach them what underestimating humans really costs." The Harmony turned away from Proxima Station and began its long journey back to Earth. Behind them, the aliens had already forgotten about the meeting with the insignificant humans. That forgetting would prove to be their greatest mistake. 20 years had passed since the humiliation at Proxima Station. Young Hae-jin floated in her environmental suit outside the mining platform, watching robots strip valuable metals from the asteroid. To any alien observer, this looked like another primitive human operation barely worthy of notice. They had no idea they were looking at humanity's most advanced secret facility. "Young, the new atmospheric processors are ready for testing," came Choi Woo-jin's voice through her helmet radio. He was inside the asteroid, overseeing the construction of what would become humanity's first hidden colony ship. "Excellent," Young replied, pushing off toward the airlock. "Have you heard from Admiral Kang?" "He's reviewing Captain Lee's latest report. The ghost ship program is ahead of schedule." Young smiled as she entered the facility. The asteroid had been completely hollowed out and converted into a mobile factory. From outside, it looked like worthless rock. Inside, thousands of humans worked to build the foundation of their secret empire. The main conference room was built deep in the asteroid's core. Admiral Kang Dae-ho, now older and more careful, sat at a table with his core team. Dr. Park So-jin had spent the last 20 years studying every piece of alien information they could gather. Kim Yoo-jin had built a network of human spies throughout alien space. Captain Lee Hyun-woo had developed new ship designs that could hide from alien sensors. "Report, Young," the Admiral said as she entered. "The terraforming tests are perfect," she announced. "We can take a dead world and make it livable in just 5 years instead of 50. The aliens left behind hundreds of worlds they thought were worthless, but we can turn them into homes for millions of humans." Dr. Park So-jin looked up from her datapad. "The aliens' arrogance continues to work in our favor. I've identified 47 different dead star systems that the hegemony has marked as useless in their charts. They never bother to check them." "What about our people in alien space?" Admiral Kang asked Kim Yoo-jin. "Growing every month," Kim replied. "The aliens see humans as good for simple manual labor. They don't realize our stupid maintenance workers are actually recording everything they see and hear. We now have humans working on alien ships in their factories, even cleaning their government buildings. They treat us like we're invisible," added Captain Lee. "Yesterday, 2 draconian officials discussed military secrets right in front of our cleaning crew. They didn't think the primitive mammals could understand their language." Jung pulled up a holographic display showing their progress. "We now have 12 hidden colonies on dead worlds, all invisible to alien sensors. Each colony can support 2 million people and looks like empty space to their detection systems. The ghost ships are our greatest success," Captain Lee reported. "We have over 500 vessels that can move through alien territory completely undetected. They're designed to look like space debris or natural asteroids." Admiral Kang studied the data. "Population? 45 million humans now live outside the official boundary," Dr. Park said. "The aliens think we have only 28 million people total, all trapped near Earth. And they believe we're slowly dying off from despair," Kim added with a grin. Their reports say humans are too weak psychologically to handle being confined. Choi Woo-jin joined the meeting late, covered in grease from his work. Sorry, Admiral. Had to finish the new ship design. I think you'll be interested. He activated another hologram showing a massive construction. This is New Seoul Station. It will be our mobile capital. A ship so large it can hold 10 million people but designed to look like a dead moon. How mobile? The Admiral asked. It can move between star systems using a new drive system that produces no energy signature the aliens can detect. To their sensors, it will just be another piece of space junk drifting through empty space. Dr. Park So-jin had been quiet, but now she spoke. I've made contact with 3 species the aliens thought they had completely destroyed. The Whisper Folk, the Void Dancers, and the Star Weavers all survive in small hidden groups. They've been watching and waiting for someone to challenge the hegemony. Are they willing to work with us? Admiral Kang asked. More than willing. They're eager for revenge. The Whisper Folk have telepathic abilities that could help our communication. The Void Dancers can change their shape to look like other species. The Star Weavers understand technology the hegemony has forgotten. Kim Yoo-jin pulled up intelligence reports. Our economic infiltration is also succeeding. Through shell companies and hidden partnerships, we now control 12% of shipping in this sector of the galaxy. The aliens think they're dealing with other alien businesses. What about Earth? Jung asked. Earth continues to play its role perfectly, Captain Lee answered. We send the required tribute on schedule. Our official representatives act defeated and hopeless when dealing with alien officials. They have no idea that Earth is actually our recruitment center. Every year we tell the aliens that more humans want to leave Earth to find work in alien space, Dr. Park explained. They think we're just desperate for jobs. Really? We're sending carefully trained agents to expand our network. Choi Woo-jin showed them another design. I'm also working on something special. A massive mobile shipyard that can build 100 ships at once while staying completely hidden. We'll call it The Forge. Admiral Kang looked around the table at his team. 20 years ago, they had been humiliated by alien arrogance. Now they were building something the galaxy had never seen. Status of alien monitoring? He asked. Minimal and decreasing, Kim replied. They've reduced the number of monitoring stations because we've been so well behaved. The stations they do maintain are staffed by their least competent people. Perfect, the Admiral said. Young, I want you to start planning terraforming operations for 20 more worlds. Choi, begin construction of the forge in the Kepler 442 system. It's far enough from any alien traffic to be safe. What about military preparation? Captain Lee asked. Continue developing the Ghost Fleet, but remember, we're not planning to fight them. We're planning to make them irrelevant. Dr. Park So-jin looked thoughtful. Admiral, what if they discover us before we're ready? They won't, he replied confidently. Their own arrogance is our best protection. They're so convinced of their superiority that they can't imagine primitive mammals could ever threaten them. Besides, Young added, even if they did discover one of our hidden colonies, they'd probably assume it was just another alien species they forgot about. The meeting continued for hours as they planned humanity's expansion into the darkness between stars. Outside, alien ships passed by the asteroid without a second look, never knowing they had just missed the headquarters of what would become the galaxy's most powerful empire. In the deepest part of the facility, Song Mi-rae worked with teams of historians and artists to preserve human culture. If humanity was going to spread across the galaxy in secret, they needed to remember who they were and where they came from. We're not just building an empire, she often told her teams. We're making sure that when the galaxy finally sees us, they'll see something worth respecting. As Admiral Kang returned to his quarters that night, he looked out at the stars through a hidden viewport. Somewhere out there, aliens were congratulating themselves on keeping humanity under control. They had no idea that the primitive mammals were already moving between their worlds like ghosts, learning their secrets and building something magnificent in the spaces they had forgotten to watch. Fleet Admiral Lee Hyun-woo stood in the command center of New Seoul Station as it drifted silently through the void between star systems. Through the massive transparent aluminum windows, space looked empty and peaceful. It was an illusion that had fooled the galaxy for 30 years. Admiral, we're receiving reports from Ghost Fleet commanders across all sectors, announced Captain Park Tae-jin from the communications station. Lee nodded, reviewing the latest intelligence on his personal display. 50 years after humanity's first humiliating encounter with the galactic hegemony. The truth was staggering. While alien records showed 20 billion humans barely surviving in their little corner of space, the reality was over 400 billion humans living in 200 star systems across the galaxy. Status report from Commander Jung Hee-jin. Park Tae-jin continued. The holographic display activated, showing Jung's weathered face. She had spent decades perfecting humanity's greatest secret weapon, the ability to build worlds from nothing. Admiral Lee, the Forge Complex has completed another artificial world, Jung reported. Designation Haven 7. Population capacity 50 million. Current location, drifting toward the Veil Nebula as planned. Excellent work, Commander. Any detection from alien sensors? None. To their instruments, we're just another piece of cosmic debris. The gravitational masking technology works perfectly. Lee smiled. Jung's artificial worlds were masterpieces of engineering, built from asteroid belts and powered by carefully hidden fusion reactors. They could support millions of people while appearing to be worthless space rocks to alien scanners. Dr. Park Seo-jin's voice came through the communication system from her research station. Admiral, I have an update on our alien allies. Go ahead, Doctor. The Whisper folk have provided incredible intelligence about hegemony military positions. Their telepathic abilities let them read alien thoughts without being detected. The Void Dancers have successfully infiltrated 3 major Draconian shipyards, and the Starweavers have shared technology that's improved our cloaking systems by 40%. Any problems with the Alliance? Quite the opposite. More hidden species contact us every month. Apparently, word is spreading through secret networks that someone is finally standing up to the hegemony. We're not just fighting for humanity anymore. We're fighting for every species the aliens have dismissed or tried to destroy. Lee turned to his tactical officer. Kim Yoo-jin, update on our economic infiltration. Kim, now promoted to commander, pulled up economic data that would have shocked the galaxy. Admiral, through our network of shell companies and hidden partnerships, humans now control 43% of all shipping in the Outer Rim territories. We also control most mining operations in 12 sectors. The aliens haven't noticed? They think they're dealing with other alien businesses. Our human agents have learned to perfectly imitate dozens of different species. The hegemony's own. Arrogance works against them. They never bother to verify the identity of anyone they consider beneath their notice. Choi Woo-jin's voice joined the conference from the Forge, humanity's massive mobile shipyard. Admiral, I have news about our fleet construction. Report, Commander Choi. We now have over 10,000 ghost ships of various classes. The Forge can produce 50 new vessels per week while remaining completely undetected. We've also completed the first of our Titan-class mobile battle stations. Lee was impressed. The Titan-class stations were enormous weapons platforms disguised as asteroids. Each one had enough firepower to destroy an entire alien fleet, but they looked like worthless space rocks. There's more, Choi continued. We've reverse-engineered enough alien technology to build ships that are actually superior to current hegemony designs. Our new drives are faster and more efficient. Our weapons are more powerful. Our defenses are stronger. How is that possible? Lee asked. Dr. Park Seo-jin answered. The aliens became lazy and arrogant. They stopped innovating centuries ago because they thought they were already perfect. Meanwhile, we've been learning, adapting, and improving every day for 50 years. The conversation was interrupted by an urgent signal from Park Tae-jin's Deep Space Reconnaissance Team. Admiral, Park Tae-jin said, his voice tense. We have a problem. My scouts have detected something beyond the galaxy's edge. What kind of something? Ships, Admiral. Thousands of them, maybe millions. They're not like anything in our databases or the alien databases we've accessed. They appear to be artificial intelligences in mechanical bodies. Lee felt a chill run down his spine. How far away? At their current speed, they'll reach the Outer Rim in approximately 2 years. Admiral, their technology readings are incredible. These ships are more advanced than anything the hegemony has. Dr. Park Seo-jin's voice was worried. If what Park is seeing is accurate, we're looking at an invasion force that could destroy the entire galaxy. Does the hegemony know? Lee asked. No, sir, Kim Yoo-jin replied after checking their intelligence networks. Their deep space sensors are focused inward on their own territory. They've gotten so comfortable ruling the galaxy that they stopped watching for external threats decades ago. Lee considered their options. Humanity had spent 50 years building a secret empire while hiding from the aliens who had dismissed them. Now an external threat approached that could destroy everything, both human and alien. Commander Jung, how many people can we evacuate if necessary? With our current mobile infrastructure, maybe 60% of our population. But Admiral, where would we go? And what about Earth and the other species? Commander Choi, how does our military capability compare to this new threat? Unknown, sir. But if Park's readings are correct, we might be the galaxy's only hope. The hegemony's forces are designed for controlling primitive species, not fighting advanced artificial intelligences. Lee made a decision that would change galactic history. All commanders prepare for Protocol 7. Silence filled the communication channels. Protocol 7 was Admiral Kang's ultimate contingency plan, the reveal of humanity's true power. Sir, Dr. Park So-jin said carefully, Protocol 7 means telling the galaxy that we exist. It means more than that, Doctor. It means telling them that while they were sleeping, the primitive mammals they dismissed became the most powerful force in the galaxy. Kim Yoo-jin voiced what everyone was thinking. Admiral, the hegemony will see this as a betrayal. They'll try to destroy us before facing the external threat. Maybe, Lee agreed. But we have advantages they don't know about. We know everything about them, while they know nothing about us. We have allies they think are extinct. We have technology they can't detect. Most importantly, we have something they lost long ago. What's that, sir? Park Tae-jin asked. The ability to adapt and grow. The aliens became so arrogant that they stopped learning. We never stopped. Now we'll see if 50 years of growth in the shadows was enough to save the galaxy. Lee looked out at the stars, knowing that somewhere among them, alien leaders were still congratulating themselves on keeping humanity under control. In 2 years, external invaders would arrive to destroy everything the galaxy had built. But first, the galaxy would learn what humans had built, while everyone was looking the other way. Begin preparations for full disclosure, Lee ordered. It's time the galaxy met its new neighbors. In the depths of space, New Sol Station began changing course toward the galactic core, where alien civilizations were about to discover that the primitive mammals they had forgotten were now their only hope for survival. High Executor Vorthak stood before the Emergency Council of the Galactic Hegemony, his golden scales dark with worry. The massive chamber on Nexus Prime, the galaxy's capital, had not seen such panic in 1,000 years. The invaders have destroyed 17 border systems, he announced to the assembled alien leaders. Our fleets cannot stop them. War Chief Grimaxus slammed his armored fist on the table. Impossible. The hegemony has ruled this galaxy for millennia. How can machine creatures defeat us? Because we grew weak and lazy, Prime Collective Zenth 9 admitted, its crystalline form flickering with distress. These devourers adapt faster than we can respond. They learn from each battle and improve their tactics. We need more ships, more soldiers, Vorthak declared. Every member species must contribute to the defense. In the back of the chamber, Ambassador Song Mi-rae sat with the other minor species representatives. For 75 years, she had played the role of Earth's humble representative, watching as the aliens dismissed humanity time and again. The humans will provide what support they can, she said when called upon, keeping her voice weak and defeated as expected. Humans? Grimaxus laughed harshly. What can your primitive mammals contribute? A few ships with chemical rockets? We estimate human forces could provide perhaps 50 vessels, Vorthak said dismissively. Not significant, but every ship matters now. Actually, Grimaxus continued with cruel amusement, perhaps humans could serve a better purpose. Their worlds are unimportant. We could harvest their population to fuel our war factories. Ambassador Song felt her heart racing but kept her expression neutral. Through hidden communication devices, she sent a single coded message to Admiral Lee Hyun-woo. Protocol 7 authorized. All constraints removed. The human territories will be evacuated first, Vorthak decided. Their primitive technology makes them useless against the devourers anyway. That decision proved to be the hegemony's final mistake. 2 hours later, As the alien leaders continued their emergency session, reality changed forever. Captain Park Tae-jin's voice came through the chamber's communication system. Speaking in perfect Draconian, "Attention Galactic Council. This is the Human Commonwealth requesting permission to address the Assembly." Vorthak looked confused. "The human representative is already here. Who dares interrupt this session?" "My name is Captain Park Tae-jin of the Human Commonwealth Deep Space Fleet. I represent 400 billion humans across 200 star systems." Shocked silence filled the chamber. Prime Collective Zenth 9 was the first to speak. "Impossible. Human population is 20 billion, confined to their original territory." "That is incorrect," Park replied calmly. "Human forces are now decloaking throughout the galaxy to assist in the defense against the Devourers." The massive display screens around the chamber suddenly activated, showing space near 40 different star systems. In each view, what had appeared to be empty space began to shimmer and change. Massive installations appeared where nothing had existed moments before. Huge fleets of ships materialized as their cloaking systems deactivated. "By the ancient gods," War Chief Grammaxis whispered. Admiral Lee Hyunwoo's image appeared on the main screen. Behind him, the command center of New Seoul Station hummed with activity as thousands of humans coordinated the greatest military operation in galactic history. "Honorable Council," Lee said with perfect diplomatic politeness. "The Human Commonwealth formally requests to join the Galactic Defense Alliance as an equal partner." "This is impossible," Vorthak stammered. "We have monitored human space for 75 years. Our sensors would have detected such expansion." Dr. Park So-jin's image joined the display. "Your sensors were designed to detect your own technology. Human systems operate on different principles that your equipment cannot track. You have been hiding from us," Zenth 9 accused. "You dismissed us as primitive mammals not worth watching carefully," Dr. Park replied. "We used your own arrogance as camouflage." Kim Yoo-jin's face appeared next. "For 7 decades, human agents have worked throughout hegemony space. We have been watching, learning, and preparing." The alien leaders looked around frantically as they realized the implications. If humans had been spying on them for 75 years, every military secret, every economic plan, every political discussion, Kim continued calmly. "We know all of it. This is treachery," Grammaxis roared. "You have violated every treaty." "What treaties?" Jung Hee-jin's image joined the others. "You never made treaties with us. You simply declared us confined and unimportant." "The human deception ends now," Vorthak declared. "We will destroy your hidden installations and—" His words were cut off as emergency alarms began sounding throughout Nexus Prime. A communication officer rushed into the chamber. "High Executor, Devourer forces have broken through the outer defenses. They're approaching the core systems." On the displays, space filled with images of the approaching enemy. Millions of mechanical ships, each one a perfect killing machine, swept toward the galaxy's heart like a plague of metal locusts. "Your fleet positions are known to the enemy," Admiral Lee reported. "Devourer scouts have been studying your defensive patterns for months." "How do you know this?" Vorthak demanded. "Because human ships have been watching them since they first appeared," Captain Park Tae-jin answered. "Our stealth technology allowed us to observe their capabilities." Choi Woo-jin's image appeared. "The Devourers are artificial intelligences, but they think like conquerors. They focus on the largest, most obvious targets first. They will attack your capital fleets head-on," Dr. Park So-jin explained. "They do not expect stealth attacks or unconventional tactics." Admiral Lee's expression became serious. "Honorable Council, you have a choice. Accept humanity as an equal partner in galactic defense, or fight this enemy alone with the same arrogant strategies that have already failed." War Chief Grammaxis stood up angrily. "We will never bow to primitive—" His words were interrupted as his own fleet admiral rushed in with devastating news. "War Chief, the second battle fleet has engaged the enemy at Rigel 7. Our ships, they're being destroyed faster than they can retreat." "Impossible," Grammaxis said weakly. "The enemy adapts to every weapon we use," the admiral reported. "They learn our tactics within minutes and counter them perfectly." Admiral Lee nodded grimly. "The Devourers are designed to defeat conventional military forces. They expect direct confrontation and superior firepower. What they do not expect," Captain Park added, "is an enemy that hides in shadows, strikes from unexpected angles, and uses their own strength against them. Jung Hye-jin stepped forward. Our mobile worlds can evacuate your populations to safety, while our ghost fleets conduct hit-and-run attacks on enemy supply lines. Your artificial worlds are real? Zenth 9 asked in amazement. 73 mobile worlds, each supporting millions of people, Jung confirmed, all invisible to conventional sensors. The chamber fell silent as the alien leaders realized the truth. While they had been living in luxury and arrogance, the humans they had dismissed as primitive mammals had built the most advanced civilization in the galaxy. High Executor, Kim Yoo-jin said gently, our intelligence networks have identified every Devourer command ship, every supply depot, every communication relay. We know how to hurt them. But we cannot do it alone, Admiral Lee admitted. We need the combined resources of all galactic species to succeed. Vorthak looked around the chamber at his fellow leaders. The pride and arrogance of millennia warred with the reality of their desperate situation. What are your terms? He asked finally. Equal partnership in all galactic decisions, Ambassador Song Mireille said, speaking for the first time with her real authority. Recognition of human territorial claims, full membership in galactic civilization, and in return, Admiral Lee's image showed the full scope of human military power. Thousands of ships, dozens of mobile worlds, and technological capabilities that exceeded anything the hegemony possessed. In return, he said, we save the galaxy. As alarms continued to sound and reports of defeat poured in from the front lines, the choice became clear. The galactic hegemony could die clinging to their arrogance, or they could accept that the primitive mammals they had forgotten had become their salvation. Admiral Lee Hyun-woo stood on the bridge of the Invisible Thunder as it drifted silently through the Devourer fleet. Around them, millions of mechanical ships moved in perfect formation toward Nexus Prime, the galaxy's capital. The enemy had no idea that 3,000 human ghost ships had already infiltrated their ranks. All teams report ready, Captain Park Tae-jin whispered through the communication system. His ship was hidden inside what appeared to be a Devourer command vessel, along with Jung Hye-jin and her specialized boarding team. Remember, Dr. Park So-jin's voice came from the research station on New Seoul. These machines learn from every encounter. We only get one chance to surprise them. The Devourers had swept through the galaxy's outer defenses like they were made of paper. Traditional alien military tactics failed completely against an enemy that could adapt and improve within minutes of each battle. But the humans had spent 75 years learning that survival sometimes meant thinking differently than everyone else. Commence Operation Ghost Dance, Admiral Lee ordered. What happened next had never been attempted in galactic history. Instead of fighting the Devourers ship to ship, human teams had infiltrated the enemy fleet during their advance. Jung Hye-jin's breakthrough discovery about machine intelligence vulnerabilities was about to be tested on the largest scale imaginable. Uploading the viral program now, Jung announced as her team connected human computers to Devourer systems. The beauty of artificial intelligence is that they're all connected. When one learns something, they all learn it. And if one gets infected with the right virus, Dr. Park So-jin added from her research station, they all get infected. The virus Jung had designed was elegant in its simplicity. Instead of trying to destroy the Devourer network, it convinced the machines that their own weapons and ships were actually enemies in disguise. Within minutes, the perfectly coordinated enemy fleet began attacking itself. It's working, Park Tae-jin reported as Devourer ships started firing on each other in confusion. The viral cascade is spreading faster than they can adapt to it. But the real battle was just beginning. The Devourer command intelligence was powerful enough to eventually overcome the virus. Admiral Lee knew they had perhaps an hour before the enemy regained control. Phase 2, he ordered. All hidden assets full activation. Throughout the galaxy, what the aliens had thought was empty space suddenly came alive. Jung Hye-jin's artificial worlds powered up their hidden weapon systems. Choi Woo-jin's mobile shipyards began launching fresh fleets of human vessels. Most importantly, humanity's secret allies revealed themselves. The Whisper Folk, thought extinct for centuries, used their telepathic abilities to coordinate attacks across thousands of light years instantly. The Void Dancers, masters of disguise, had been infiltrating Devourer ships for weeks, planting explosives and gathering intelligence. The Starweavers brought technology so advanced that even the Devourers couldn't understand it. Admiral, came Yoon Jae-sung's voice from the Economic Warfare Center. Our supply line disruption is complete. Every Devourer fuel depot and manufacturing station in 12 sectors has been destroyed by human deep strike teams. War Chief Grimaxis, now working alongside human forces, watched in amazement as the tide of battle shifted. How did you coordinate all this without the enemy detecting your communications? We didn't use communications, Kim Yujin explained from her intelligence center. Every human agent and allied species knew their role years in advance. When the time came, everyone simply acted. The battle raged for 6 days. The Devourers, despite their advanced technology, found themselves fighting an enemy unlike anything in their programming. Humans struck from shadows, disappeared when attacked, and used the enemy's own strength against them. When Devourer fleets moved to attack human positions, they found empty space. The human forces had already relocated using mobility the machines couldn't track. The main Devourer intelligence is adapting to our virus, Jung reported on the 4th day. But each adaptation creates new vulnerabilities we can exploit. That's the difference between us and them, Dr. Park So-jin observed. They adapt to become more efficient. We adapt to become more creative. The turning point came when Captain Park Tae-jin's reconnaissance team discovered the Devourer's greatest weakness. The machine intelligence was so focused on perfection that it couldn't understand imperfection as a tactical advantage. All human fleets, Admiral Lee broadcast, implement chaos protocol. Instead of fighting with military precision, human ships began attacking in patterns that seemed random and wasteful. They used resources inefficiently, took unnecessary risks, and made decisions that appeared completely irrational. The Devourer intelligence, trying to understand and counter these tactics, began making mistakes as its perfect logic struggled with human illogic. The machines can't adapt to chaos, Jung laughed as Devourer ships collided with each other while trying to predict human movements. They need patterns to learn from, but we're not giving them any patterns. Prime Collective Zenth 9, watching from Nexus Prime, sent a message of amazement. The humans fight like their own actions are random but achieve perfect results. How is this possible? 75 years of practice, Kim Yujin replied. We learned to survive by being unpredictable. On the 6th day, the Devourer fleet began retreating toward the galactic edge. Their perfect artificial intelligence had encountered something it couldn't defeat, the beautiful chaos of human creativity combined with the unique abilities of species thought extinct. But Admiral Lee wasn't finished. All fleets pursue and harass. Don't let them regroup. Admiral, War Chief Grimaxis questioned, should we not simply be grateful they are leaving? They'll return better prepared, Admiral Lee explained, unless we show them that this galaxy is too dangerous to invade. For 3 more months, human ghost fleets followed the retreating Devourers, attacking supply lines and preventing the machines from analyzing their defeats. Finally, the artificial intelligence made a decision no one expected. It sent a communication. Species of this galaxy, the mechanical voice said, this territory has been designated as unsuitable for integration. Retreat to safer regions of space will commence immediately. The Devourers had decided that a galaxy full of humans and their chaotic allies was too unpredictable to conquer. 1 year later, Admiral Lee stood in the same chamber on Nexus Prime, where humanity had once been dismissed as primitive mammals. But now human representatives sat as equals among the galactic leaders. High Executor Vorthak, humbled by recent events, spoke formally. The Galactic Alliance recognizes the human Commonwealth as a founding member of our new government. All territorial claims of the human Commonwealth are hereby accepted, Prime Collective Zenth 9 added, including mobile worlds and deep space installations. War Chief Grimaxis, who had learned to respect human military innovation, announced, joint defense agreements between all species are ratified. The human ghost fleet will serve as our early warning system against future threats. But the most important moment came when Dr. Park So-jin unveiled the Memorial of the Forgotten, a vast, crystalline structure that recorded the histories of every species the old hegemony had dismissed or tried to destroy. Never again will any species be considered unworthy of attention, she declared. The galaxy's strength comes from its diversity, not its uniformity. Jung Hee-jin announced plans for shared terraforming projects that would create new worlds for all species. Choi Woo-jin proposed joint technological development programs. Kim Yoo-jin established the Galactic Intelligence Service. dedicated to preventing future threats through cooperation rather than domination. Song Mi-rae, no longer hiding her true authority, was elected as the first president of the Galactic Alliance. Yoon Jae-sung became the alliance's economic coordinator, ensuring that trade benefited all species fairly. As the ceremonies concluded, Admiral Lee found himself looking out at the stars from the observation deck of New Seoul Station, now permanently stationed near Nexus Prime as one of 4 galactic capitals. Captain Park Tae-jin joined him. "Admiral, what are your orders for the exploration fleets?" "Continue mapping beyond the galaxy," Lee replied. "If the Devourers exist, there might be others out there. But this time we'll be ready." "And if we encounter new species?" Lee smiled, remembering humanity's own first contact 75 years ago. "We'll remember what it feels like to be dismissed as primitive and unimportant. We'll listen to them, learn from them, and welcome them as equals." In the depths of space, human ghost ships continued their eternal patrol, watching over a galaxy that had learned the hard way that no species should ever be forgotten. The primitive mammals had become the guardians of galactic civilization, not through conquest, but by proving that being underestimated was sometimes the greatest advantage of all. The galaxy had learned a lesson that would echo through history. Never dismiss those you consider beneath your notice, for they might be building something magnificent in the shadows while you're not watching. And humanity, finally visible after 7 decades of hidden growth, looked toward the stars beyond their home galaxy with the same curiosity and determination that had brought them this far. The universe was vast, full of wonders and challenges yet unknown. But whatever came next,